So this is a Cirrus CR69 vacuum. This is one of the two machines that I currently own that I actually did purchase brand new. And I actually bought this from my local vacuum store. It is a bagged model, and I've gotten quite a bit of usage out of it. It does feature electrostatic filtration with a HEPA type bag, obviously, but the post motor filter is down here, which is right in here behind this little tab. So that's your motor carbon filter. I think that's the pre-motor filter. For the most part, the vacuum is made out of a really highly durable plastic. With this particular model, you get a set of 3 tools with it: a dust brush, a crevice tool, and upholstery tool. Oops. And they all fit nicely back onto the machine. The hose is attached to a wand, so you can pull that out, and as you can see, it does extend. So that's kind of a nice feature. One thing I almost forgot to mention was how long the hose is. It's fairly long. Pull out it anymore, it's just going to knock the vacuum over. But you do have more than enough hose, pun possibly intended, to get up to your ceiling. So you can get things done with this vacuum. I just wish the removable hose was a little bit longer. But you just lock it back in place, just like that. When you're done using it, you just throw it back onto the machine. It does have adjustable suction. So back here on the hose part that goes into the machine bag, you can adjust your suction. So there's full suction, obviously, and then you can go from there. It has a 24-foot power cord. This model is just a single speed. I don't know if Cirrus's other models are 2-speed switches, but I know for sure that this one's not. It obviously has a headlight on it. On this model, the wheels are plastic, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to maintain this vacuum. So you have a full metal brush roll with replaceable strips. To get at the brush roll, it's like any other Panasonic style vacuum. You just pull those 2 switches back and take the brush guard off. If you want to replace your belt, that's all you have to do is just peel it off of the motor shaft, take this piece out, and then the whole brush roll comes right out. And this is a very well built brush roll. I'm actually really impressed with the build quality on the brush roll. But overall, this machine is just very simple. There's, as far as I can tell, there's no PCB or computer boards on it at all. There might be in the body, but I've yet to see any. Now, of course, there are models out there that are based on this design that are better made, but, you know, essentially you're going to get what you pay for. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the belt back on, and then I'll let you guys hear it run. One thing I do recommend with these vacuums is this is a Panasonic belt. This is a Cirrus belt. Cirrus does provide their own belts, as do they provide their own bags, should you want to buy them. Now, I will say that their bags are okay. They seem well enough made. I have no issues with the bags, but the belts, on the other hand, I have had issues with. This is a medium pile carpet, and with these belts, I seem to go through them. You know, I vacuum daily, and when I was using this machine daily, it seemed like I was going through a belt every 2 to 3 weeks. They wouldn't break, but they would just start wearing out, and pieces of them would essentially come off of the belt, and then they'd melt back on. and it's just like the belt was just getting too hot, so it was kind of deforming it a little bit. It still kept its same basic shape, but it did stretch it out some, and when it started damaging the belt, it would have these little bumps in it, so it would make, you know, a noise because of that. So I started using the Panasonic belts, which appear to have alleviated that issue. At least as far as I can tell, I am getting a little bit more usage out of these Panasonic belts. I just put one on a couple weeks ago, and even though I haven't been using the vacuum daily, I have not had any issues with that belt. And I just looked at it and inspected it when I had the Brushroll out off camera, and it seems to be just fine. So it might be that these Cirrus belts really aren't that well made. I don't know that for sure, but it just seems like these Panasonic ones made in the USA are a much better belt to go with. So being that it's basically, you know, more or less a copy of the Panasonic design, you can use a lot of the Panasonic vacuum parts and accessories with it. So definitely, I would recommend you definitely go with their belts. Now two other things I did want to mention about this thing. It does have automatic height adjustment. So there's, you know, some people like the automatic, other people prefer the manual, but this one, and I believe all models that they sell, are all automatic height adjustment. And also, should you want to move the vacuum around, you can use this piece here. This is the carry handle. You don't want to lift one of these up by the top handle because, you know, you could risk putting more strain and stress on this handle than there needs to be. So it's really best to just, with any vacuum, to use their provided carry handle whenever you want to move the machine around, like up and down stairs and whatnot. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in and show you guys how well she runs. Pulls itself across the carpet fairly easily. So overall, I've been pretty happy with this vacuum, and really for the most part, I haven't had any issues with it other than the belt issue I mentioned earlier. I think it'll give me many more years of good, faithful, reliable service, and I really don't think I'll have too many issues with it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe. You all stay classy.